Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. So starting with the DXY on the daily, we got this WX extended wave Y. I believe we're still in that wave Y. Then we'll be looking for that X2 and then the Z up. On the H4, starting to get difficult because we've lost all the, in between here, we had that bearish divergence like I mentioned. Then we had a nice impulse down and I was just looking for an A, B, C in here and then an A, B, C. Instead, this wave's gone and broken the top. We've lost all that bearish divergence. So it becomes very difficult until we get that bearish divergence before we can sell. So looking at the H1, we're looking at that WXY, X2, and we had that bull hidden. And I was looking for that to go and break that top for that wave Z. This is becoming like an A, some sort of a B, and then a C in here. So we may get a larger correction as an A, B, C, and then get that another one up. So an A, B, C, and we won't get the Z up. This is turning too large of a correction. So I'm just looking for an A, B, C, and then an A, B, C before we get the larger A, B, C. So in here, you can look for the buy, but just be very careful because like I mentioned, we just get an A, B, C. So, you know, as soon as it breaks that top, you want to be at break even because it can fall over on you, give it another one down like this one, and then go. AU on the daily. So nothing's really changed. I'll go over it all again. We've got a WXY, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, W, 1, 2, 3, X, and then an impulse up as the wave Y. So we've got a 335, looking at that as the larger correction for a 335 complex correction, and then we're looking at an A, B, C like we have on the weekly. Starting to get very difficult because we got an A, we lost all the bullish divergence. I was looking for an A, B, and a C up before we get more downside because we don't have any bullish divergence. So you can see the structure that I'm looking for in here. If I just zoom in a little bit, we got these excuse me, 5 down here. This was looking very choppy. We had that bear hidden. Sorry, we lost the bear hidden. We broke the top, so I was just looking for a correction in here and then another one up. Price action's giving us a setup that we possibly can get a larger correction. So we're looking for an A, B, C in here, and then we get that A, B, C before we get that larger A, B, C, finishing off the daily B wave, and then we get the A, B, C. So on the H1, we do have bullish divergence between here. So you can look for the buy. If you get any bullish setup in here, you can look for that buy, but just be careful that it's more than likely at this stage just a regular flat for an A, B. Just go and break that top for a C, and then more than likely we'll get another one down. So you can scalp this. If you get a buy set up in here, you can look for that, and then if you get a sell set up, you can look for that. Next week, EU on the daily. So we got that WX extended wave Y. Then I'm looking for an X2 up to that 38.2 and a Z down like I've mentioned many times. This one here didn't break the low, so we never got a lower low in here. So that therefore we don't have any bullish divergence. So I'm just looking for a correction and then another one down, like I've mentioned. H4, this has come back very deep. So we're just looking for an A, B, C, looking for an A, B, and then a C up to that 100 fib. Again, this may turn more complex and we get an A, B, C in here. And then just breaking that low, and then we get an A, B, C for the correction before we get the A, B, C. So again, it's very difficult to trade because we are in a B wave. That's why it's so choppy. Here we do have we do have bearish divergence. Is that the top for an A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C? Well, it's possible. That's why this here is more of a sell, because if we're looking at this as an A, B, C, and that's complete as a contracting flat in here, and then we get that A, B, C, that one broke the top, giving us for bearish divergence. We got one down. This looks like it may have bull hidden. Not valid to trade, but so it may give us another one up here, but it's very difficult because, like I said, this can be an A, B, C as a larger correction. So you really have to be careful. You're really only scalping. GU on the daily. So we're looking at that WXY. We're looking for that X to up to the 38.2, and then we'll be looking for that Z down. We don't have any bullish divergence. H4 is where it gets quite tricky because it's not really playing nicely. We got that 5 down. We got WXY, X2, Z down. We lost all the bullish divergence, like I've mentioned. So I was just looking for a correction and another one down. We got that. We had the bear hidden there as well. So that turned out nice. We got this one down. And then, like I've mentioned, between the two lows, we lost all the bullish divergence. So again, I'm just looking for a correction and then another one down, giving us that bullish divergence, and then we can look for the buy. It's very risky to buy, without the divergence. So here we have like I've mentioned, we got a WXY. I was looking for an X2. We do have that bear hidden, never confirmed. So we never got that deep correction, or it never went and broke that low. So it's becoming quite difficult. We're definitely not going to get the Z down. We can't call it a Z down, but this may be a larger correction for an A, a B. We get a C up, and then we get like an A, B, C. As you can see, extremely choppy, extremely difficult to trade because we are in a B wave. Yeah, you really have to go down onto the lower time frames and look for the setup. This is looking more bearish. We're starting to get bearish divergence between these. So it's very difficult. NU. We got that WXY. We're nearly down to that 161.8, and then I'll be looking for the X2 and then a Z down on the daily. H4, we did go and break that low. Like most of them last week, I was just looking for an A, B, C. This one's gone and broken the low. I still believe it's a B wave. You can see that we are getting a bullish setup in here. If I just draw the target for this, so we're only looking for more than likely a running flat. If I just change that settings, so we're just looking for that 100 pip, and then possible reversal, possible, if you get a reversal off that 100 pip, well, then you can look for the sell. This stage, we're looking for the buy. Again, when we look at the H1, it's very risky. You know, it's extremely risky, because here we don't have any bullish divergence, and up here, or up here, we have a possible bear hidden. The bear hidden never went, and we got 1, 2, 3 down. So if we're looking for an A, B, C, we'd be expecting this C wave to be rather impulsive. Instead, it's very corrective. You know? So this may be an A, W, X, Y, X2, Z down, and then give us an A, B, C. So we may get a more complex correction in here, and it can even break this low. You know? This, if we get a Z down in here, it can break that low and then give us like an A, B, C as a running or expanding flat before we get more downside. So we really got to be on our toes, watching the price action to get into the good trades. We're in B waves, so it's going to be very difficult for the less experienced traders. UY on the daily. So we've got that WX, extended wave Y. We're looking for that X2 and then a Z up. H4, we've got that WXY, Y, X2, and we got that Z up. The problem was, like I've mentioned, we lost all the bearish divergence. Between these two tops here, we did get the bearish divergence, but that Z up, it exceeded all our targets, and we lost all the bearish divergence. So again, you know, like I said, I was just looking for a correction in here and then another one up. It's gone up and broken the top. The H1, really, this is more bearish. And we can only really look for the sells. You know, we're at a top. We're just about at the top of that wave Y on the daily, so can fall over at any time. We can sort of look at this as 1, 2, 3 up in here, and then we get A, B, C before we get the larger A, B, C to finish off that wave Z. That's sort of how I'm looking at it. It's quite difficult because, again, you know, we don't have any bearish divergence here. So I'm just looking for another one down and then up. So if you get a bearish setup in here on the lower time frames, you could look for that, but be mindful that you may get a buy setup in here, and then you can buy again as a scalp. I mean, all of this is scalps. The short is a scalp and the buy is a scalp. The Swissy on the daily. So we got that WXY. Got up to 123.6. We lost all the bearish divergence. So just looking for a correction in here and then another one up. We've just about gone up and broken the top. As you can see, I was looking for this WXY, X2 and a Z up. There was the time factor here. We didn't have the time factor. Now we are getting the time factor for the correction. This correction here is a similar amount of time as this one here. Now, whereas when we had this possible bull hidden here, it never went up and broke the top. Just about went up and broke the top, but didn't quite. So now we can look at it. I don't really like it because we've got an A. This is not looking like a B wave. It's very impulsive, and same with this. But I just have to look at it as an A, B, C. We broke the low here, and we've got bullish divergence. So we can look for the buy. You know, whether you put the trend line here or wherever you put it, you can either have it here or up here. You know, it doesn't really matter. But we're looking for a buy. We've got the bullish divergence on the H1. So we'd like to see it break out of here, break the top, give us a bullish setup, and then we can buy to go and break that top. That was one of the better trades I'll be looking for next week, that US Sheffy, the Swissy. Looking at the CAD, UCAD on the daily. So like I mentioned, we got this A, B, C. So we're looking for an A, B, C. Then we got the A, B, C. So down here, I was saying this is complete as the B wave. If you go back through my videos, then I'm looking for an A, B, C. This one did go and break the top. It only just broke the top, but we're starting to get bearish divergence. It would have been nice if it got up to this 100 pip, and it still may. You know, H4, we've broken the top, so you can only look for buys. At this stage, we can only look for buys. Yeah, it's given more of a sell setup in here, but this is for an A, B, C, or maybe a W, X, Y, X2, and a Z down. We don't know what sort of correction we're going to get in here, but we're going to wait for that correction, and then we're going to look for the buy. You can only really sell under that low. Yeah, because we don't have any bearish divergence. GY on the daily. So we're just looking at this last setup here on the daily. We've got that W, X, Y, X2, Z up. We had that. No, we didn't have the. I thought we had the ball hidden in here. Maybe we didn't, or maybe we did on the lower time frames. But either way, we got bearish divergence. We're starting to get bearish divergence now in this wave Z up. Oh, this is where we had the ball hidden. So we're looking at that W, X, Y, X2 with the ball hidden on the H4. So I am looking for this to go and break that top for that wave Z. So if you get a bullish setup in there, you can look for it. It's very dangerous, you know, because we're at the end of a structure. So you know, on the higher time frames. So if you do get any buy setup, you can take it, but just be mindful, you know, get it to break even. Yeah, because it could fall over at any time. EG on the daily, like I've mentioned many times, there's two ways we can look at this. There's a W, X, Y, X2, and the choppy Z down, or we can look at it like I am looking at it as an A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C. We haven't quite got up to that 100 fib yet. This has been extremely hard to trade because of how choppy it is. You know, this is extremely choppy. It's not impulsive at all. So on the H4, I've lost all the bearish divergence by the look of it. Do we have a bull hidden there? Looks like we've got a bull hidden. So we've got a bull hidden here. So this may be a little flat in here to go up, break that top. And then if you get any sell set up, after the break of this top, if you get any sell set up, look for the sell. Not really interested in the buy because of how choppy it is. Yeah, tell you the truth, I'm not trading this at all because it's just one of those crosses that, you know, it's extremely choppy. You know, why would I waste my time even trading this when there's better setups on other pairs or other instruments? So, but yeah, sort of looking at it that way. See, even on the H1, we have that ball hidden, you know, possible ball hidden. So is this an A, B, C in here as an expanding flat? And then we get that A, B, C. Well, that's possible. You're getting a little break out of here. So, you know, if you get a buy set up, you know, definitely want to be at break even at the break of that top, and I'd be taking half off, at least half off at the break of that top. So yeah. gold on the daily. This is very complex as well. I'll go through it quickly again. We've got a WXY. I was looking for an X2 because we had that bear hidden there. And then I was looking for that Z down. We never broke this low. Instead, we just got 1, 2, 3, not quite breaking the low. Then we got a 1, 2, 3 here. So I was putting these two together for an A, B, C. Putting it in a nutshell. On the H4, if I zoom out again, we got that A, B, C. It went a little bit further, didn't quite get to that 123.6, but it got to that 100 fib, which is nice. And we do have the bullish divergence. This is where it starts to get real tricky because we've got an A, a very deep B wave. And it's sort of like some sort of a triangle here. So all we're looking for is a C up. We're looking for an A, B, C. Just up to this 100 fib, and then more than likely fall over for more downside, because this isn't looking impulsive at all, you know. And here we had a bear hidden. That bear hidden didn't play out and go and break the low. So it's more than likely this is just a correction before we get more downside. On the H1, as you can see, you could look for this. It's, you know, extremely, it's not giving us nice setups because for a start, we didn't get the bullish divergence. We got an impulse up. We are getting bullish divergence in here for an A, B, C. So you can look for the buy. If you get any buy setup, you really got to go down onto the lowest time frames and look for your buy setup, get it to break even and just hold it because, you know, it's so choppy, you know. More than likely you just get a break even, or you may get lucky and it may go on you. Looking at WTI on the daily. So looking at WXY, X2, Z up, A, we lost all the bearish divergence. So I was just looking for a correction, A, B, and a C. Back down to this 50 fib. I was looking for price when we're up here. I was looking for price to get back to that 50 fib. It hadn't quite got there yet. Nothing's changed since last week on the H4. I haven't changed none of these arrows. All these arrows are there. Well, this one, these have been here for a couple of weeks now. But so we're looking at this like A, B, C, and then the A, B, C. We're getting this wave down in here. It's starting to go as planned. Look on the lower time frames. We do have bullish divergence on the H4, so you could start to look for the buy, but you'd have to be careful because we have bullish divergence between these two, but we never got the impulse up, breaking that top, giving us a nice bullish setup to buy. We never got the buy set up. So it becomes risky because, as you can see here, it's not valid, but we do have a bear hidden here. So this can be like an A, B, C in here. And then you get an A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C breaking the low, then giving us the bullish divergence, and then giving us the bullish setup. So if you do take it from here, you can take it because we do have the bullish divergence, but you just got to be very careful because it's not giving us the price action to actually give us the price action for the setup to trade. So yeah, just be mindful of that. On the Bitcoin, so we've got that A, B, C. We got the bullish divergence, and there is the higher time frame, like the A, B, C, possible C down on the weekly, and then we go up and break the top. That is still possible on the weekly. We do have the bullish divergence on the daily. H4. So we got that W, X, Y, X2. We got the Z down. Problem was we lost all the bullish divergence in wave Z. So again, like I've mentioned last week, you know, we're just looking for a correction in here. And then another one down, giving us that, like, the bullish divergence. And then we want to look for the buy setup, you know. So it's becoming quite difficult. Did put out an idea a couple of weeks ago with this possible flat in here. You know, we had this little possible flat here. I was looking for a motive structure, and we got a WX. We started to get that wave Y, and then it fell over. So there's a couple of different ways we can look at it, and I really needed this to be motive for the reversal. Instead, you can see the price action. You know, it's not going anywhere. It's looking very corrective. So have to be very careful. But we can start to look at this a few different ways. We can look at it as like a WXY and get up there, or even up to the 100 fib. You could look at it that way, but the price action is telling us something different. So we're looking at an A, this is a B, and then we get a C down, and then we get an A, B, C. That's how I'm looking at it. So be very careful buying in here, because you can see the price action. You know, it's extremely shallow and choppy. So you can see how choppy this is in here. So I'm looking for an A, B, C, and then if it gives you the buy setup, look for the buy for the A, B, C. SPX 500. I'm in this one. It's not going as well as I would like to have seen, but that's trading. We got a WXY, looking for that X2 and then a Z down on the daily. H4. Again, we got the 5 down. We got the bullish divergence. We got a nice high. Damn thing fell over and broke the low, and now we've lost all the bullish divergence. So again, this is becoming more complex. But we don't have the bullish divergence, so we can only look for sells. You know, on this time frame, we're looking for a sell. More than likely, you know, we got a little correction there, so more than likely this will give a bear hidden, and then we'll get another one down. We're already starting to get that bear hidden. It's not confirmed as bear hidden, but that's what I'm expecting will happen. We may get a bear hidden here. On the H1, we got that WXY, X2, Z down. We had the nice bullish divergence. Was looking for the buy. I think I mentioned, you know, I did get in this buy in here, got out of half, and the other half come down, took me out at break even. I did get another trade on it. It was very risky, and it wasn't going at all. You know, I was just sitting in here, you know, and I was, and then finally on Friday it did go, but yeah, it's nail biting stuff. It's not really on the H1. All you can do is buy. You know, we got no bearish divergence, so if you do get setups, you can buy it, but as soon as we start to get the bearish divergence, you got to stop, and then we'll be looking for the sells. As soon as we start to get that bearish divergence, we'll start to be looking for the sell. AU 200 on the daily, nothing's changed. It's quite difficult because we got such a deep B wave. Didn't quite break the top, but we got an A, B, C. It's gone too far. We don't have any bullish divergence, so I'm just looking for a correction, something like this, and then another one down for like a WXY, X2, Z down. H4. No H4, we don't have any bullish divergence. So again, I'm just looking for a correction in here, something like that to give us another one down. So be mindful if you are selling, if you are buying this, you know, be careful of this trend line and any bearish divergence you get on the lower time frame. Very similar to S&P. Yeah, very similar to S&P. Looking at the DAX on the daily. So this one's very difficult as well, but I'll go over it again. We got a W, very deep X2, wave Y. We never had the bearish hidden here, you know, in the X2. So I was just looking for a correction and then another one up before we go and break that low. We never got that one up break in the top, so it's become quite difficult. On the H4, so we don't have any bullish divergence. It's more bearish, but you know, we've got to wait for this correction. Really, we've got to wait for the correction in here, then look for the sell. It's more of a buy on the H1, I dare say. Yeah, on the H1, it's more of a buy because we have all the bullish divergence. But again, you know, we've got the bullish divergence, so you can look for the buy. Just be mindful that you got an A, B. You got 3 down in here, breaking the low. So it could be an A, B, C, and it may be a flat in here, and then you get the A, B, C. That's what you'll have to be careful of if you're buying this. Ideally, you'd want, this is looking rather impulsive, so it's looking quite good. If you get a break above there, then the correction, then it'll be a nice buy. But then again, you know, then we'll be looking for that Z down too. So, you know, yeah, you'll just be looking for an A, B, C, A, B, C. Okay. UK 100, the FTSE. Again, we got a very deep pullback, you know, looking for an A, B, C. This one hadn't broken the low here yet or anything, and you can only really, you know, can really only sell this on the daily. You know, we're looking for that 50 fib retrace. This has been very difficult as well. Again, you can only really sell it until we break that top. You know, it's very risky. I mean, you know, we got this lower low here. That's the problem. Without any bullish divergence. Now this may just be like an A, B, C, and that's fine. And then we get an A, B, C. You would have been in this if you were trading this on the H1, but you're just looking for a correction. The H1 never gave us the bullish divergence. So, you know, if you did take this, it was an extremely risky trade because more than likely it would have been just an A, B, C. That's all I could have forecast this for. But again, it's taken off. So we may get something larger here. On the H1, you can look for the buys because we don't have any bearish divergence, so you can keep on looking for the buys. But as soon as you start to get that bearish divergence on the H1, then you'll start looking for that sell. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. Share, like, subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.